All right then, everyone. Welcome to the podcast with me and Aaron today. So yeah, we're going to start off with a bit of cheeky YouTube news. So the first story I've got, well, not this isn't all YouTube related shit, but the first story I want to bring up is that I know this sort of just applies to me and fight fans, but the UFC certain pay-per-views are only going to be shown on BT Sport box office, which is ridiculous because originally the pay-per-views were only shown on BT Sport. This is what made UFC so special in England. I don't know how the pay-per-view shit works for UFC in America, if it's just on, because I know they're with ESPN, so if it's just on ESPN or if you have to get a pay-per-view separate thing, whatever, I don't know, box office thing. But anyway, things with BT, some providers give it you for free. Obviously, I'm with Sky, so I have to pay 27 quid for it, I believe. But, so for BT, you're already paying for Sky, and then another 27 quid with the BT Sport. And now they're making you pay for bloody box office. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely fucking mental. I think this is totally corrupt. Aaron, your thoughts?
Well, I'm not the biggest, UFC fan ever, but that is just pretty mental, having to pay even more for something that, you want to see.
I'll tell a bit of a story now. The last time I used to watch WWE pay-per-views when I was like 10, and they were £14.99. And last I checked, the pay-per-views now are 20 quid, like the boxing ones. So I don't think it'll change for the UFC. Well, I don't think it'll change for that because I think that'll still be 20 quid. So you're already paying for BT Sport, and now you've got to pay for that as well. It's just ridiculous. There's this other MMA promotion called Bellator, Aaron, and they're on Sky Sports now. And to be honest, Bellator isn't as good as UFC, but I'm sort of tempted to go with Sky Sports instead of BT now because as much as I like the UFC, this is just a big fucking joke, in my opinion. Like, they're gonna, there's so many good pay-per-views coming up. I know you don't know about it, and it's just total shambles to you. But man, I don't know what I'm gonna do in the future because if all these pay-per-views, all these really good pay-per-views, end up being 20 quid, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might see how Bellator's doing. If Bellator's coming up with really new shows, I might just give up watching the UFC. To be fair. Because this is just a total massive shit on the fans. It really is. And also, in America, if they do have a pay-per-view box office thing, it's on at 7. It's on at fucking 7 o'clock or something. In England, it's on, or wherever, I don't know, 7 o'clock, whatever time. In England, it's on at 3 in the morning. So who's going to buy the pay-per-view, stop up till 3 in the morning, and then obviously, it'd be 3 till 7, the main show. Then you probably, if they do reruns, because I remember WWE doing reruns, and I'm sure that other box office pay-per-views might do reruns like boxing and what have you, from what I've seen. They do the reruns as well because you're paying for it on box office. So then I'd have to get up at 8 and then watch that. Basically, I'll have to wait all day to watch it. I don't know in the reruns if you can fast forward it. I don't know. I haven't paid for box office in ages, but it just seems like an absolute massive shambles and a total joke, in my opinion.
Yeah. So,
like I say, no, one last thing, like I say, it's going to piss off a lot of fans. A lot of people are going to stop watching. I think I'll ride it out. I'll see if there's any good shit on in the main pipe, like the big pipe views. If it's really worth it, I might as well pay for it. But I think a lot of people will not be up for paying for this shit. Yeah. So, yeah. Do you want to bring your story in then next?
Yeah, it's kind of a long one, but I have another short one, so I don't know if you want my long one first, or...
Go for the long one, yeah. I've got a few more stories.
Alright, so this is, as I said, going to be a little bit long. But there's people calling it the Adpocalypse Part 3 that's happening on YouTube at the moment. If you haven't... Have you heard about the Vox Media situation?
Nope.
Alright, so basically, Vox Media is like... I'd say like an entertainment slash show business kind of company. There's reports on like just current news and stuff like that. And basically, there's two parts of it. There's the Vox Media, which does all the work, and then there's the Vox Media Union Group, which supports the workers and all that. And
yes,
basically, if I'm going to make this really simple, The Vox Media Union Group wants their workers to get better pay, so what they're doing is they're attacking YouTube because that's how Vox Media gets their money.
Instead of paying their workers more.
Well, there's a bit of a dispute because they want to significantly increase the amount of money they're making, and because Vox Media,
And also pay their workers.
yeah, but because Vox Media isn't doing it at the moment, they're attacking YouTube, which is causing everyone on YouTube to lose their money, the ad revenue. So
Oh shit!
Basically, the people who work for this Vox Media as well, the Vox Media Union, they don't get paid on YouTube. They get paid straight from another business, nothing to do with YouTube. So effectively, they're willing to sacrifice everyone on YouTube just so they can get a little bit more money.
This is just really fucked up, to be fair.
And then
I don't know what to say. It's just really bizarre.
And there's this man, I don't know if you've heard of him, he's called Carlos Mazza, I think that's how you pronounce his name, sorry if I messed
This will
up.
be interesting. This guy sounds like a legend.
No, he's really not. This guy.
What's he done?
Basically, he's calling YouTube a safe space for the far right movement. Basically saying YouTube hates gay people. YouTube hates pretty much anyone who is not straight, basically they hate everyone except straight people, according to him. And he's basically trying to get YouTube in so much trouble so him and the rest of his colleagues can get a bit of a pay rise from it.
But is this to do with Vox Pop, whatever it is again?
Yeah, this is the same thing. This guy works for...
So they're accusing YouTube of homophobia and all this shit. What evidence have they got? Because, to be honest, the beauty community seems to really get promoted. And so does so do straight people as well.
Well,
LGBT, and it depends how good your content is and how appealing your content is. YouTube isn't specifically backing up one political spectrum or backing up people who are gay or not backing up people who are gay or backing up people who are straight and not backing up people. I don't know. This guy just sounds like a nutcase. And you can tell it's bullshit because he's just doing it for money. He's just doing it conveniently when this company wants more money.
Because the thing is as well, he I don't know if you heard of the term deplatformed.
Sort of. I don't know what it means.
It's basically when you get kicked off of a website and you can't get
Oh,
back on.
okay.
So
like Alex Jones!
Yeah, pretty much. So basically what he's tried to do is he's tried to get this YouTuber kicked off YouTube, and it's failed, and this is when he started his, YouTube is anti-gay and far right and all this.
Who were they trying to get kicked off?
I forgot the exact name of the channel, but it was...
Is it a political commentator?
Yeah, it was... No, it was actually someone commenting on the Vox Media situation, saying, oh, look at this situation that's going on.
Man.
And he said, basically, this is when he started his, YouTube's, anti-gay and all that. And because they didn't kick him off originally, this is when it's gone mental. And people are actually losing their channels right now because they're talking about this guy, because he's just he's just getting people kicked off to gain a bit more money.
What reason is he getting them kicked off for then?
It's weird. YouTube's doing that thing again where they're just saying, oh, anyone who makes a video on this or anyone who talks like this gets demonetized, or in some cases, but not very often. I think someone's been kicked off already. Like, they've had a channel taken off.
That's pretty annoying.
Oh no.
The reason why I'll just say quickly, the reason why I said he sounded like a cool guy was just because, I don't know, Carlos is just a cool name. It's like Carlos Condit, the MMA fighter who I respect. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't know anything about the guy. It's just weird, to be fair, that he's just randomly attacking people. I mean, him doing this, YouTube aren't going to be able to make as much money, so his company won't be given money, so I don't see the point of it, really. It just seems totally counterproductive.
Yeah, and the last thing I was really going to say was there's some commentary channels, I'm not going to name any off the top of my head, but because they don't want to get demonetized, they're basically being forced to back up this guy.
That's very bizarre.
I know, it's really weird. So you have all these people who seem to really hate basically in one video, you know, they say that they really dislike it, really dislike something, but then because of the situation now, if they say that they dislike it, they're going to get demonetized. So they're sort of being forced to say something that they don't believe in.
That's a shame, man. But at the end of the day, if they keep giving into this stuff, then other people are going to have to say things that, you know, they don't necessarily believe in. They might not think that, you know, they might not think this opinion. So it's a bit sad that they're being forced into this. But I think, you know, at the end of the day, these YouTubers, they got enough money to live on. They can go and work in Tesco at the end of the day. I don't see why they're bending the knee to it, you know. I think they should sort of stand up to it. I sort of get it because it's a livelihood, but just get a normal job, you know. They've probably got, if they're famous enough to have to say this, then they've probably got enough money to live on. Well, more than enough if they're a famous YouTuber.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the end of that really long part.
Yeah. Have you got the short story, or should I give my story next? The one that I've got.
Yeah, do you want to give yours? It'll be a bit easier.
Yeah, so KSI and Deji beef. We did touch on it on the last podcast, but it was because Deji brought up a video first, and now KSI's released a new one. Have you watched much of it, or have you watched an analysis of it, or?
No, I haven't watched anything to do with this at
all. Okay, so they had beef ages ago, and that was over Deji showing bank details, and we could really just do a whole separate video just talking about this, but I'm just going to try and summarise it as quickly as possible. So the first beef, obviously, Deji put the bank details in. JJ is pissed, but the reason why Deji made that diss track is because his mate Randolph said in this weird Sidemen questionnaire quiz, they said, "What channel's dead?" Beep, Deji's. Like, it's just a joke, isn't it? You know, it's really nothing to be getting upset about. Like I said about YouTubers having more than enough money to live on, Deji's got a nice life. He's got, even without JJ, you know, he's still got quite a big fan base. I know his channel isn't really that big now. Well, actually, yeah, Randolph, I know they made a joke out of it, but it's just facts, really. Deji's channel is pretty much dead. I used to love it when I was 14. I used to love watching him years ago, but I don't watch him anymore. Now it's just dead, and he seems to just, from the videos I've gone through, looked at, like skimmed through, it seems to just all be the same sort of stuff. I react to this with my dad. I play this. I sing this song. I react to this. Blah blah. It's all really clickbait. Because I remember one of the last videos of Deji's that I ever watched was "Do not click on this video," and I just thought, this is so clearly clickbait. I really just wanted to try and think, oh no, he's not a clickbaiter, but it's so obvious now. I just got to accept that he's a bit of a, you know, it's a bit crap, really. I mean, look, moving on. She let me cut her hair. He's gone too far. Bye. Try not to cry. Well, how do they know? I don't know what the rest of it says. 99% will. It's all just watch this video. It's all just clickbait. It's all just, you know, there's no point. And I don't watch KSI and Deji on the regular. I watch a few of KSI's videos, to be honest. I watched some of the reaction ones when he kept uploading really consistently. I watched the boxing ones. That's about it, really. I tried watching a few of his videos years ago, but I was never like a humongous fan, really. But KSI is totally in the right with this argument, in my opinion, because if you watch his video, he debunks all this stuff. He debunks how Deji edited certain bits out to make his points look more valid. And he also says about when Deji said, oh, you know, it makes me feel like I want to kill myself, along those lines. No, he said, the world will be better off without me. And JJ's like, oh, come on, bro, I love you, whatever, don't do this, you know. I'd never want you to think that. And to be honest, I'm totally backing up KSI on this one. I don't really like being subjective about things, but when it's blatantly obvious, KSI's in the right here. I really hate to have a go at Deji. He's a really nice guy. I respect his work ethic, especially with the boxing. He did so well against Jake. I know he lost, but to last 4 rounds with someone that much bigger than you, you know. But Deji, this all started, and also, what's it called? Deji got his and JJ's parents to back him up. So what happened was on Christmas Day, JJ wanted to sort things out, and then JJ's dad saying, Randolph slagged off Deji, delete the video. And he's like, well, I'm not deleting it. And he's like, because the video when Randolph said, oh yeah, it's Deji's channel's dead or whatever. And he's like, get rid of the video now. And then he's like, oh, I can't control what Randolph says. And he's like, you're his boss, you pay his wages. And he's like, oh, you know, whatever. What do you think of the situation then? Because really, it's just over him saying the channel's dead. It's not really that horrible. This is where it all started off. JJ's friend saying, Yeah, Deji's channel's dead. As a joke, by the way.
I think it's pretty random because stuff like this, you can't tell if they're doing it for attention or it's actually genuine. Like, I think half the time. But this does seem pretty genuine, to be honest, from what I've seen of it.
Yeah.
But it's just stupid to, there must have been something else that's been running on for years. If it just started over, that Randolph guy saying, "Oh, his channel's dead," there must be something else there.
Yeah, because usually when people get annoyed at people or get in an argument over nothing, there's something building up time over time, pent up frustration, and people just let it out in a fit of rage over nothing, so or over a really minuscule thing. And I just feel like Deji did say some things in the video saying like how he feels like he's in his brother's shadow too much, and he was saying stuff like, "Oh, I got abused in some of the videos." Like, it wasn't abuse at all. JJ just messed around. Like, you should watch the video for yourself, Aaron. But yeah, it's a bit interesting, bit weird, bit bizarre. But KSI debunks all of Deji's points. To be honest, I know you said it's genuine, but for people who think it's fake, the parents are getting involved. The parents wouldn't usually get involved. The parents made a video saying, "Listen, guys, you keep coming to the front gate or whatever and keep shouting stuff. We don't want any teenagers to get a criminal record. We don't want to have to call the police on you." And also, JJ put an hour's effort into making a video and debunking all his points and saying, "Come on, Deji, you're my friend."
Yeah.
One last point. It's part of, yeah.
If we ever make
One last
merchandise, we have to have that burp on it.
Signature burp, yeah. But yeah, one last point I wanted to bring up is how, what you call it, JJ, he said, Deji was like, "JJ makes fun of me, blah, 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 blah." And it's just a clip of, Deji, it was so funny when JJ was like, "You're an idiot. You're an actual idiot. I've had enough of my brother." It's like sort of comical, really, because he's being like, "My brother's an idiot. He's an idiot. Are you stupid in your head?" And it's like, it's so funny. Like, it's like Deji's just taking himself too serious. That's why JJ laughed. He wasn't laughing at the fact that he was getting angry. But it was just funny. But yeah, that was the final point. Can I bring up one of my other stories? I did have 4, but I forgot one of them. I'll bring that up another time unless I can remember it. But this is my last story I'm bringing up. Actually, no, bring yours up because this will link into our first topic, my final story.
Alright, so it's a bit of a serious one, but have you heard about do you know what a furry is?
Isn't it like someone who wants to fuck animals or something?
Pretty much, yeah, and they dress up as animals. Basically, there's been a lot of them coming out on Twitter as furries and as zoophiles. They're actually, people who have relations with animals. But there's actually people now who are posting not videos of them doing it, but videos of them before they do stuff with their dogs and all that. And people are actually being arrested over this in America. And there's actual FBI investigations going on.
Arrested for fucking animals?
Yeah, basically saying that...
I mean, the animals can't give consent, so it's a bit fucked up.
I know, but some of the arguments they put across is just weird. It's like, I don't really want it. I just ask him, and if the dog says yes... Then,
what?
Yeah, it's really weird. It's like, if the dog hints that he wants to take it further, then I'll take it further. But I'm like, you've got 100% of the power here. There's no way a dog can consent.
That's just really, really, really weird.
I know, it is bizarre. There's that many on Twitter.
I don't know why the fuck there's FBI investigations. I thought you just need the fuzz to come in and sort it out. Just get the cops in there,
I think because there's that many of them now. It's like an epidemic at the moment.
Yeah, fair comment then, mate. Fair comment. So let's do my final story, which sort of links in. You'll laugh when I say that, how it links into the first topic that we're going to talk about. But recently, Callum's Corner had his willy bit by a guinea pig.
Yeah.
By his guinea pig. And on face value, as much as we have said before, we're massive fans of Callum's Corner. I think he's one of my favourite YouTubers. I also think he's one of the best with how, realistic he is and how he's just himself at the end of the day, and he's just a good laugh, and different types of content. He's entertaining, funny. Some of the videos are sad, some of them are informative. So yeah, anyway, So yeah, in the live stream, he had his because Aaron, you were the one who originally told me about this.
Oh yeah.
He, for some reason, he had pajama bottoms on, and he had a guinea pig between his legs, and he was trying to control it, like keep him there and stroke him. And the guinea pig bit his willy. And Callum was like, he must have thought it was a carrot in my trousers.
That part, it was that one of those moments where it looks painful but funny at the same time.
He's like, ah! Honestly, at least, and the funny thing was, this links into our topic, right? Callum was like, physically, my willy has recovered. But he was like, mentally, I'm not fine at all. I can't even look at the guinea pig. But what makes it worse, this links into the next topic. People are fucking sharing this shit all over the place. Like, haven't they got anything better to do? It's a bloke. First off, you don't even... Obviously, you don't want to see some guy's a guinea pig biting his willy. But all you see is Callum's Corner's head and he just goes, my willy! Or something like that. I don't know. And people are posting it all over Twitter. And I'm thinking, first off, it isn't even worth sharing. Second off, it's just stupid. Like, what I mean by that it isn't worth sharing is that you don't want to see his bare willy being bitten. But, you know, obviously, people might laugh more if they could actually see the guinea pig between his legs and then the guinea pig bit his cock. And then he's like, ah! But all you see is the top of his head. But anyway, they shouldn't really share it anyway. I mean, first off, as much as I rarely criticise Callum's Corner because he's a legend, this is his fault for having the guinea pig between his legs. Let's be fucking honest. I mean, that's a really stupid decision. But anyway, what do you think?
I was just thinking, because he's got that new competition, is it Pig Larter, where he's going to make his guinea pigs compete in like a gladiator-style event?
What?
That's evil. He's making all three of it. They're not going to kill each other, but they're just competing in events, and whoever wins gets the crown or something.
When did he say this? Was this in a live stream?
No, that's why he had the guinea pig between his legs. He was talking about it on the live stream, and then it bit him.
Oh.
And he's talked about it in like 2 more videos, I think. The one
literally, Callum's Corner's obscurity and his like craziness is just brilliant, man. Like guinea pigs competing, and the winner gets a crown. Like, for fuck's sake, he's such a legend, man. I really respect that guy. He's just a beast.
It's almost as bad as when people are uploading his that music video they're uploading it to Pornhub. But
that was
exploded over my picture.
Yeah, I mean, that was just hilarious. I don't know if we did talk. I don't think we talked about that when we were talking about Callum's Corner. That when we did the YouTube Rise to Fame or whatever. Yeah, Callum's Corner was right. Yeah, he was like, because that was one of the funniest ones ever. He's like, "This has been ruined. November has been ruined." And I'm like, "What the hell's he done?" And then he said,
"Why am I
on Pornhub?"
Yeah.
It's one of the top viewed videos ever on UK porn. Why am I on Pornhub? And then
I was watching Mermaid.
Yeah, that was a bit. He's like, and then I saw mermaid porn. I just did what came naturally to me, and it was a sticky mess. So anyway, enough of that bullshit. That was fucking mental. We're going to talk about social media, so the impact it's had on society, and we're going to talk about each social media. So we're going to talk about each social media first, then talk about its impact. So this is sorry if I annoy anyone with my opinions on social media. I'll try and be as objective as possible, like we always try to be on Aslad's podcast. But yeah. So first one I want to go over, one that I really just dislike. I haven't had it installed for years, so maybe they've had new updates. But Aaron, I've got your confirmation that there has been new updates, and it's still a bit shit. Snapchat, absolutely hated it when I had it. It just seemed like the biggest load of pointless nonsense ever. To be honest, what are your thoughts on it?
Well, I use Snapchat, but I'm not like a freak on there posting like, oh, I've just tied my shoelaces, that sort of thing. But
very bizarre, isn't it?
There's some people that we know, and some people that I've seen on there. They just bait for attention because it is so easy just to like film you literally doing anything, and you can put caption on saying whatever you want, and you can just bait for attention, bait for sympathy, you know, all stuff like that. It just, if it's not that, it's people, you know, pretty much like half naked complaining that people are looking at them on there. It's like, well,
yeah, I mean, both those things. First off, people waiting for attention. If you got such a big deal or you got such a big issue, the thing is, I feel like if you've got to upload it to Snapchat and you're like, oh, my life's awful, oh, things are so horrible, whatever. You want people to approach you first, but you really don't want to talk about it. Obviously, you clearly really don't want to talk about it because you're not actually talking with them about it. You want them to keep asking you, and you probably talk about a few things to them, but you just want them to say, "Oh, I feel so bad." But like, what's the point? You know, at the end of the day, you should really just go and get help. Oh yeah, I was going to say earlier, if someone's a furry, you should go and get help, like therapy or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know it's random to bring that up.
I don't know if there's any furry advice communities, but I'll try and find something.
I thought he was going to say, I don't think there's anyone who's a furry watching this podcast.
You never know.
So yeah. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Snapchat's just totally pointless. I really think it's just daftness. People, isn't there streaks and people keep taking photos and...
Yeah, I know people who have lost friendships over the fact that one of them didn't reply and they lost a streak or something. It's just like, it's a number next to your name. Like, why?
Who's going to give a shit?
Yeah, it's just pointless.
Very bizarre. And you said about people taking pictures with their tops off. Obviously, we can all tell that's blatantly mental. If you don't want people looking at your bodies, don't fucking upload pictures, you big idiots. Like, come on. You know, but they clearly want people looking at their bodies and they clearly want attention. Otherwise, they wouldn't have done it unless they are just pistol mental. And again, you mentioned people filming people. Obviously, if you want to film your mates, you know, just for memories, why not? For a laugh, who cares? But if you blatantly have your camera in someone's face, first off, it makes you look a bit daft. And second off, what is the point of just filming people? Like, and then uploading it to Snapchat? Like, all people are going to think, anyone with, you know, a decent IQ level is going to think, why is he filming his mates in public? That's nothing particularly interesting is happening here. And why would you do it anyway? Wouldn't you just want to have a good laugh and a talk instead of trying to make your life look perfect?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just bizarre, really. I don't really, like I said, I don't see the point of Snapchat, you know. It's just saftness. It's absolute madness. Let's try and say something good about it. You got any ideas? Because I haven't had it for years. I don't know. People can talk to people on there. They can have a laugh, send funny photos, funny stories.
You can stalk people very easily on Snapchat. Not that I'm a stalker. I'm just saying.
How the fuck is that a positive thing?
No, I'm just saying it as like a joke thing. But there's this map, and if you basically you can see where people are. Like
that's scary.
Exactly where they are in the world at any given time.
That's really scary. This was never on there when I had it years ago.
And then
that's terrifying.
If you're travelling somewhere, so say if I went from my house to your house, James, it would show the route that I've taken to your house.
That's really terrifying. Have a lot of people been fucked over by this?
I don't know, actually. There's not been a lot of people talking about it, but I guess people have been stalked on there, haven't they?
That's really scary shit. They should not have that feature on there. Is it optional, or do you have to have it if you have Snapchat?
No, you can turn it off, but you can still...
Oh, good, that's alright then.
You can pretty much see where everyone else is.
Bit weird, innit? Alright, no, but something good, come on, think of one. Like I said, you can have a laugh on there. I don't know, that's the best thing I can come up with. Snapchat's the most pointless load of nonsense ever. The only good thing is you can have a laugh, entertainment, whatever. That's the only good thing I can come up with. It's not even a decent way for famous people to promote themselves neither, because it's just photos!
I think the only decent thing is it's really simple to use. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
But it
Fair
drains.
enough, then.
The bad thing is...
Most social media is, though. It has to be.
It just drains your battery on your phone.
Yeah. Alright then, next one, Instagram. Not too bad.
You get very famous very quick on Instagram.
I was about to say, yeah, that's actually more useful and it's a decent way for people to promote themselves. There's a lot more funny memes on there. There's not really as many toxic people on there. It's nice how you actually get followers instead of like Facebook friends. You can only have so many friends. Followers, you can have loads of people, you know. Your mates can follow you. And I know that there is quite a bit of nonsense on there, but at the same time, I don't think it's as bad as Snapchat. Because at least, you know, the thing is with this, you can actually see the photo or the video. With Snapchat, don't you? Like, you click on and you have to go through their story and keep clicking. It's mental.
Yeah, it's like the pig from Toy Story 2 going through.
That was an amazing meme. That was amazing because it's like going through your, going
Almost
through
there,
your,
just going all the way through.
yeah, yeah, going through your mate's Snapchat when they've been to a gig. Come on, come on, for ages.
I
So
think,
I'm nearly there, almost there. Ages and ages, just spamming it. Classic.
I think something
Um,
bad about Instagram is definitely it's not good for some people's mental health. If I can just
How
explain,
come?
because basically you can go on there and you can search for like using hashtags or whatever, and then you can end up like comparing yourself to complete strangers. You know, think, oh look, they look so much better than me, like, and you don't know who they are. They're like, this applies to pretty much every social media as well. But you know,
Yeah.
it's just constant competition, and you can get
very bizarre, really.
you can get very like easily addicted to Instagram as well. You can spend hours on there, like, you know, just browsing through hashtags and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you know, like I've said, I'm pretty sure we said this on the one last week. People shouldn't just be people who usually upload photos of themselves constantly, or uploading photos at gigs, events with their mates, whatever. They're not really in the moment in reality, because they might be having a laugh then, like, oh, let's take a photo, and they've just ruined that good moment, you know.
Yeah.
I don't see the point. They should just be living in the moment, really. But yeah, I think I had I didn't even know. I just looked it up. Facebook own it. Pretty cool, I guess. Yeah, Instagram. It's
I mean, you can buy stuff
nowhere
for
near as bad as
Instagram now,
Snapchat.
can't you?
Yeah, I had it for a little while, but then I just got rid of it. I'm just not, like I say, I don't really care about most social media at all. I'll tell you which one I have. The only one that I have later, or two, if you want to count a few others. I don't know, or three. But yeah, the next one, there's TikTok, which is quite weird. What do you think about that? We can just breeze through that quite easily.
Just terrible.
Yeah, there isn't really anything good about it. I don't know. Like we said with Instagram, you can get famous for it, but it's just a shit ton of cringy videos. One of the clips really did make me feel sick, because there was this. I think it was on one of Callum's Corners videos or someone reviewing it, and there was this old.
Oh yeah.
I was nearly going to heave then.
There
was.
If you don't,
I'm trying not to heave.
I know what you mean.
I know it's a bit stupid that I can't talk about this sort of shit, but obviously it's just disgusting. So this old bloke was just talking to this like kid. I don't know how old he was, like a young teenager or whatever. And he was just singing a really sexual song to him, and the teenager was miming it back. Just disgusting. I don't want to heave because I've just had a massive chippy and I'm drinking beer. But like,
yeah, just don't talk about it if you don't want to.
Can you just say it? Can you just say it?
All right, so I was going to say it's very easy for, it's basically easy for children to be manipulated on there by older people, and there are a few. I don't want to use the word, but predators, you know, have used TikTok to get people on.
It's very disgusting, really. I really think, like I say, the parents should be getting involved. This is just... The video was probably one of the creepiest things. I know I'm probably over-dramatising it a bit, but I just thought it was so disgusting, man. Like, while...
It's sort of just like...
The parents should be getting involved.
It's sort of
probably
like an app where it's just mainly kids, which a lot of predators can...
disgusting.
Use to their advantage, which sounds horrible.
The thing is, I feel like TikTok... I don't know if it is probably worse than Snapchat because, you know... Oh shit! It's been out since September 2016. What?
Oh, it was
only
Musically, wasn't it before? And then they changed the name.
Oh, because I only knew about it when Callum's Corner talked about it. But yeah, that one just disgusting. I think it's the worst because there's loads of nonsense on there. And to be honest, I haven't seen anything from what videos about Snapchat and things that, you know, I hear people talk about on Snapchat. There's nothing really harmful on there. Sing this, your burp.
Yep.
Most of the time. But TikTok, it seems like there's loads of harmful shit on there, so I'd say that's the worst social media by far. And it's just really stupid and cringy either way, because just people miming songs, like, what the fuck is the point? Right, enough about that. WhatsApp, that's probably one of the least harmful ones, in my opinion.
Isn't it, really?
Yeah, but, you know, just people on your phone, close people that you can message and have a laugh with. Not bad at all. Probably one of the least harmless ones. Nothing bad I can really say about it because it's just people on your phone contacts, not people all over the world. Oh yeah, do you remember this one called Omegle? That was fucking disgusting.
It was either every other guy was either someone with, I don't want to say it on YouTube, but doing something on the camera, and the other half was just children.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
I mean, I'd say because that one lasted so long and people on YouTube looked at it, I'd say that's probably one of the worst ones ever. Because
it's like random
you just click on it and then some dude's dick's out, then you click on it, or some person's arse is out, I don't know. Or some dude's dick again, it's like, and the thing is, they're showing it to children, like, and what is so depressing is that I never went on Omegle, but if you kept clicking on it, it's just sad that there's so many blokes doing this. Like, you can sort of think to yourself, well, it's just appealing to those blokes, so they go on there and just do this anyway. They're doing it for a laugh. But how sad can you be to fucking expose yourself to some kid or some fucking random person? It's disgusting. That actually probably is worse than TikTok, I'd say.
Yeah, because it's available to everyone because it's in the web browsers, isn't it? So you can
is it still around now?
I'm pretty sure it is.
I hope they just scrap it. I really hope they scrap it. What other social medias?
There's Tumblr.
I haven't really.
All right,
what's that all about?
Right, basically, it's a lot of where this LGBTQT plus stuff. I think, yeah. Mm-hmm. So where a lot of that originated as well. But in 2017 or 18, they got rid of it because it was basically 95% porn. That's what Tumblr was, and then they got rid of.
Oh.
They got rid of all
cool.
the porn.
Fair enough.
And then they lost.
I don't really.
That's 90% of their users over it or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, there's Reddit. I don't really know anything about that neither. Spotify, that's like music.
I use Reddit a bit. It's decent, but
Dubmash, don't really know much about that neither. I'm not a social media guy, so Tumblr's basically just porn.
It was
pretty funny.
I mean, you can still find a lot on there, but it was like child porn before. Whereas now they've got rid of pretty much all of it.
That's absolutely disgusting. They just need to get rid of it.
You
just said they got rid of it, so
they let most of it slide for years, and then Apple removed it from.
Why didn't the news talk about this?
They did, but it was overshadowed by other stuff.
Well, fucking load of bollocks, man. Now the other two social medias, Twitter, I absolutely despise it. It just seems totally pointless. Just a bunch of wankers on there, really. I'm sorry, Aaron, I know you've got Twitter. I'm not having to go at you specifically. But there's just so many people who just put random hogwash like, oh, this, blah, blah, this, blah, 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 blah. Just so many keyboard warriors. Just someone's quote, blah, 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 blah. People lose jobs over Twitter for... it's just one of the worst as well. Absolutely despise it.
I only use Twitter really to promote stuff and just publicise random stuff. I don't use it to spread messages and all that. But some stuff in there is absolutely just bizarre.
Yeah.
Most of it is like the ads I get on there is more like cam girl stuff. I'm like, why am I seeing all this?
Yeah. To be honest, I feel like a lot. As in the podcast, everyone might know, I'm a big combat fan, and I talked about MMA at the start of the podcast. So a lot of fighters and boxers, and I don't know if other sports do this, but they all seem to go at it on Twitter loads, and face to face they don't say much. There's this guy called Karl Pilkington, who I think's hilarious, by the way, and he's a really good fighter, but he just keeps having to go on Twitter, and but face to face he doesn't have much of a go, and he usually has a go. When he does have a go, it's when the cameras are around. But yeah, Twitter, it's just the ultimate keyboard warrior size. That's how I feel about it anyway.
I don't know if you want to mention Discord. Because I don't know if you
you can get massive... I actually don't mind Discord because obviously Callum's Corner, his Discord server. I bet I mentioned Callum's Corner like 4 times in this podcast, but yeah.
Personally, I think it's alright, but there is a lot of... I forgot the YouTuber's name. I think he's Bradikin. I think his name is. He exposes a lot of paedophiles on Discord because there's a lot of dating servers for underage people on there, which is pretty creepy. But I guess that happens with pretty much every social media, doesn't it? There's some part of it that is filled with those kind of people. But yeah, I forgot the other one I was going to say. Facebook. I don't know if you want to mention that.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. basically with Facebook, can you count? That's one of the only ones I have. The only reason I have it is because my mate made it for me. I didn't originally want to get it. I mean, there's some crap stuff about it. Obviously, there's nonsense on there. But, you know, I like all the MMA pages, all the MMA groups. If it's one of your interests, then, you know, you'll enjoy stuff on there if you've got an interest and you join groups. And just liking stuff, have a laugh, loads of... The things with things like Instagram and all that, it's usually young people on there. But with Facebook, there's old people on there. You can add your family on there, all sorts of different groups of people. It seems like... I know, obviously, people are like, oh, Insta's the only thing I have. But, like, it seems like the majority of people seem to be on Facebook. And when you do something wrong on Facebook, it's harder to get away with stuff because people can trace you easier. And there's so many people on there. And it's so easy to share stuff. So I think Facebook's all right. I really like Messenger as well. Pretty good. That's another one that I... But obviously it's Facebook Messenger, so it's sort of the same thing. Yeah. Good shit.
There's like nearly 2.5 billion users of Facebook, isn't there?
Insane. But, yeah. There's one more social media, YouTube. Should we count that? I know it's not a chatting thing, but...
Well, they have.
Should we just talk about that quickly? What do you think?
As a whole, I think YouTube is all right, but the political thing that they've got behind it now is sort of ruining it. But I just want to say as well, YouTube is a private company. It's not like they have to abide by, you know, like they can turn around tomorrow and go, all right, no gaming videos at all, and because they're a private company, they can do that, but. I think people have this impression that YouTube must be inclusive to absolutely everything and all that, when they can sort of set what they want, really, at the end of the day. But, yeah, it's basically, it's got a massive monopoly on videos.
Mm-hmm.
The only other sort of gaming one is Twitch, where it's live streams, but they sometimes, well, they allow video uploads, but it's not as good as YouTube. And there's like Vimeo, which is pretty distant third.
It's more for creatives, and I know about Vimeo. It's more for creatives and amateur filmmakers, really, because it's more serious.
Yeah, but I just think.
What do you think of Vimeo?
To be honest, I've been on there like once by mistake. I can't really comment, to be honest.
Yeah. Personally, I'll tell you what I think of YouTube. Pretty good laughs. I mean, we're uploading this to YouTube. So, I mean, you put this on another podcast website or something, like a podcast website thing.
Yeah, they're on like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. There's one called Radio Shack and all that. And
so, yeah, we've got shit all over the place. Has anyone even viewed any of them? Or
I haven't checked, actually. That sounds really bad, doesn't it?
Fair enough, it doesn't matter. But, yeah, there's loads of other stuff to upload shit on, to be honest. And we're just mostly talking about stuff. But I like YouTube. It's a good platform for you to be creative. I know all this copyright shit's annoying, but at the end of the day, either don't monetize your videos. I know some of them do get copyrighted anyway, but do that to stay safe. And, yeah, just try and avoid the copyright shit, really. What can I say? YouTube's all right, a bit corrupt. What's the political monopoly thing going on right now that you were talking about?
Oh, the video monopoly.
Yeah.
Basically.
Was it the thing you mentioned earlier?
Yeah, it's basically there's no other massive website to compete with YouTube, is there? Apart from Twitch, which isn't really for uploads, it's more live streaming.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to upload a gaming video, you've pretty much got YouTube, and that's about it. There are smaller websites, but you're not going to get many views on there. Like places like Mixer.
The thing is, if YouTube did something absolutely awful, then they'd make a new website. I'm just saying if it did absolutely awful. And Mixer, people can make money on that and do well. And same with Twitch, so fair enough if they want to do that. But not as big as YouTube.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's talk about its impact then on society. So, social media, I think it really has had a bad impact in the long run. Because a few years back, there wasn't anywhere near as many people on there just looking down at their phones constantly. It's all right to look down at your phone sometimes, or if it's an awkward silence, you just want to look at your phone for a bit and then think of something to say, whatever. Or if you just want a little release, that's good. But some people are on there all the time. And one of the reasons why I don't have other social media is because when I had Instagram, I kept checking that as well as Messenger. So I thought, even though it's not taking up loads of my time like it is some people, it's still taking up more time because I have two apps. And like I said, I didn't enjoy it. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's got a bad impact, like I say.
I think it has got some advantages. Like, it's way easier to be able to talk to people on the other side of the world. If like
Yeah.
someone moves away, or it's really easy to keep in contact.
Yeah, that is a good thing.
But it causes so much anxiety and people believing they have anxiety and stuff like that. As well as you just feel like you have to keep up with every single thing that's going on in the world, and if you're not, then it's like, well, what are you doing with your life? That sort of thing.
Yeah, I just feel like people are too obsessed with what other people think who they don't even know or they rarely see, to be honest. Because the thing is, in school, your social group's like 10 or 20. When you leave, and it's hard to find real friends in reality, but when you leave, your social group, real friends is like 2 or 3. But obviously, you can have other friends, obviously. Some people have more friends, but yeah. It's hard to find real friends, and to be honest, a lot of these people online, especially the keyboard warriors, they just seem very fake, and they're just unhappy people,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think overall a bit of a bad impact because mental health's more a problem more now than ever, and social media being on the big rise, I feel like that's something that's caused it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think obviously everything has its advantages, but I think it does have social media as a whole has quite a lot of bad disadvantages.
Yeah, I know with a lot of things, I say like the people should try and suck themselves out of it, and they should try and not care about it or forget about it. But some people just can't, and because of the creation of I don't know. I'm a bit torn 50-50 with it. What do you think? Do you think it's really the people's fault? Or in reality, it sort of is, but they're sort of just sucked into it.
I think it's probably like years worth of people hearing what other people are doing, and then eventually it gets into the head that I've got to be like them, and stuff like that. So, and I think as well, we like children, like because some people are given phones when they're like 5, aren't they, or whatever?
Scary shit.
And
because the thing is, my one of my cousins, her kid, I went round to one of my grandparents' houses, and I know this is a personal story, but I'm not naming whoever. I'm never naming stuff if I bring up a family story. It's nothing personal, but it's just showing the state of things. So anyway, I went in and she was looking on the iPad, and my nan was like, "Oh, it's time for your breakfast and whatever," and they tried to just say, "Oh, let's get off the iPad now," and she was like, "No, no, no," and then they said, "Come on, come on," and then she gave it to him, then she wanted it back, and then she got really upset. So I think it's being embedded in like toddlers' brains now.
Yeah.
And you see loads of like if kids in prams, and some of them have got iPads there. And it's just bad, really. The reason why I'm not so sucked in to it myself is because I had not a flip up phone, like a slide up phone for years. And it was class back in the day. I had like 2 songs on there for some reason. I had the Fools and Horses, the A-Team theme. Yeah, I know this is a random tangent, but I don't care. I had a Yoda sound effect. Man, it was fucking weird. I had the Sonic game, and I forgot what other fucking games I had. I think like I had this weird, like, old arcade game, and I had Tetris and some other shit. It was just so class back in the day. And so yeah, I had that phone up until 2011, which was madness. And then I had a really old HTC for years. I'm trying to think. It was a touchscreen. Yeah, I had a HTC for years, and the only reason I got an iPhone was a funny story actually. My dad took my phone with him because his phone was out of charge early in the morning when he went to the gym, and it fell out of his bag when he was walking out, and it broke. So he bought me an iPhone 5S. But that was when I was like 15, so I wouldn't have been as sucked in to the to social media or my phone in general. So it wasn't really like an essential for me because I hadn't had a good phone for ages. Everyone else seemed to have like iPhones or BlackBerry Messenger, so they were sucked into that. But with my HTC, there wasn't any social media aspect to it. I just text people.
Yeah.
Like close friends, I text.
Yeah, I think if you're giving a phone at like a really young age, like definitely,
which a lot of people are now,
you're gonna be brought up with that, and you're just gonna assume it's normal when really it's you should only really focus on yourself, really. That sounds a bit selfish now, but when you're growing up, you just got to think, all right, I need to get my life sort of in track right now for then in the future for it to work out.
I don't know. Maybe people should go, like I say, go and get some professional help or some, with this sort of shit. I know that seems to be my answer for a lot of shit, but yeah, I feel like with this specifically, it's such a big issue, Or just really discipline yourself, or get an old phone, get a really old phone, and just use that instead, just to get away from it. Or have two phones. Have one, your really old phone, where you go out to call people, and when you get home, use your other phone to do whatever. It's just an idea.
Yeah.
Really. But yeah, I feel like it's just not good, how sucked in people are to this sort of stuff, really. Because one thing, I know this is really random, but one other thing, I remember in my lifetime when I was a kid for Christmas, I'll be scrolling through the Argos catalogue, and there'd be so much anticipation. You'd be hype up. You're like, oh shit, yeah, I can't. Oh, I found the thing I want. Yes, let's get that. Nope, it's 200 quid. You ain't fucking out. I'm joking. No, it's obviously, yeah, let's have that. Yeah, okay, then, yeah, you can have it. You can have that for Christmas. Yes. And also, but now, up Amazon, what do you want? Blah, 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 blah. Click, yep, bought, whatever. You don't care. There's no, I know this is a little thing, but it's these key fundamentals, man. And there's also, what else? I remember in my lifetime when I was younger, obviously you go and call for your mates, don't you? Knock on their door. Is so-and-so coming out today? Yeah, whatever. Hey. Nowadays, kids are probably like messaging, I'll message you. You coming out? No. Okay, you coming out? Yep, let's go. Pointless. Not as much anticipation. And I know they're just little things that don't matter. I know they are just little things that don't matter, but still, it's these things.
I mean, I saw this thing earlier today. It was pretty funny. It was teenagers are killing the doorbell industry because they're texting them, messaging their mates when they're outside rather than ringing the doorbell.
That's hilarious.
I think it was pretty much a joke, but it was, it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if that's the last thing you want to talk about in that part of the...
Nothing else to say, really. Yeah, so... I can't make any fart sound. There we go.
There we go.
The farting hand and the signature burp. All right, then. So, the final topic we're going to talk about is the phenomenon of the one, the only, the legend, Karl Pilkington. So, yeah, for those of you who don't know, what the fuck are you doing? Why don't you know this genius is? This guy's just a legend.
Yeah.
But, yeah, for those of you that don't know, Karl Pilkington is a geezer who originally, as much as, we get this impression that he's a bit of a dummy and that, he doesn't understand simple things and he talks about monkey stories. Yeah, he's quite an intelligent bloke because he used to be a radio producer, which a producer of any sort, a lot of responsibility, a lot of hassle, having to deal with loads of things, dealing with a problem, dealing with where the money goes, difficult shit, man. But he dealt with it, Obviously, eventually he said, I didn't like that job. But, man, smart guy to get to that position. A lot of work ethic in him. So, yeah, the way he started out was Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant were doing a radio show, and it really wasn't getting many views. To be honest, I really didn't. They're really intelligent, bright blokes. I'm personally not a fan of their TV shows like The Office and Derek and Extras. It's just not my sort of thing. I just can't get into it. But I understand the success. I get it. But I'll talk about The Office later. Well, I'm not a big fan of The Office. But yeah. So that's Karl Pilkington came in the room and they just thought he was funny, so they got him on the podcast. And he was saying all sorts of mental shit, man. He was going on about, like, really obscure things. And for the day, for the time, it was like, there's nothing like that on radio. Just some geezer who's talking about horses in his house or Rockbusters. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Aaron, give some of the classic riddles, man. Do you remember any?
No,
I've got a few I can...
Top of my head.
Okay. This is an example of a Rockbusters clue. You win a really shit prize for it. But Karl Pilkington would say, right, this is the clue. I don't know. Oh, yeah. Tripping over a puddle in Texas. That WH. That'd be the clue, and someone would have to phone up and try and guess it. And you're like, what the fuck is he going on about? But then Ricky's like, Karl, what is it then? He's like, all right, tripping over a puddle in Texas. Wet knee. Whitney, Houston, Houston, Texas, Whitney, Houston, Whitney, Houston. And it's just so funny, man. It's just like classic, you know. Like, and Rick's like, oh, that's not a real thing. It's basically just guess what I'm fucking thinking. And it's just like classic, man. Can you remember any? I can give another one if you can't remember any.
No, I can't remember any off the top of my head.
There's a really weird one where he was like, 6 politicians get electrocuted. And then it was E, and then it's the electric 6, electric 6, electric 6. And it's just like weird shit like that, you know. So yeah, XFM, they did so many episodes, didn't they, man?
Yeah,
it was like, wasn't it like
hours of compilations of them?
Some like 400 hours worth, you know. I mean, it's insane, really, when you think about it. Another segment was Monkey News. That was quite funny. He'd tell really obscure stories about monkeys that people had sent in, and he believed them as fact. What other weird shit did he do?
There was that one, I forgot the name, was it Do We Need Them? Where he used to talk about animals and if we really needed them or not.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah, that one was quite funny.
Everyone said at the end, yeah, we do need them, and alright. It was just a total waste of time.
So yeah, XFM, big success, but then he moved on to doing just random podcasts with Ricky and Steve, and then they ended up animating them into the Ricky Gervais show. Your thoughts on that, Aaron? I personally really enjoyed them myself, but your thoughts?
Yeah, the same here, but I do think it's a bit ironic. It's called the Ricky Gervais show when it's like 95% Karl Pilkington, and the rest.
Well, the thing is, this was before Karl Pilkington was established. Really, like, I know he had a bit of a cult following, a niche audience on XFM, but he wasn't really established as this absolute legend. So, and because I think it was like one of the probably the first podcast to do like animations and them talking, because I know obviously other like JRE and the Rooster Teeth podcast and other podcasts that do animations of them talking, but they're just short animations. These are full 20, not full the full podcast, but 20 minutes of podcast highlights of them talking in animation, and I think it's quite cool, really, to be honest.
Because there was that thing that they said it was the most downloaded podcast ever, I think.
Yeah.
Which, you know, shows it was fairly popular and all that. But yeah, I think it's a pretty decent one. It's some of the stuff's a little bit dated because, you know, they are a bit not homophobic and all that, but, you know, just of the time, aren't they?
What do you mean?
Like, you know, I can't remember any examples off the top of my head, but like when you listen back to some of them, you're like, well, this wouldn't, if they did this today, this wouldn't get anywhere near as many, you know, views and listeners and all that. So I think
Should I give an example, or do you think we'll get a bit of hate?
It's up to you. Yeah, do you want to...
All right then. So this is really harmless. Karl Pilkington's not against anyone. A disclaimer: if you get offended over this sort of stuff, so click off the video if you get offended over this little stuff. But yeah, Karl Pilkington said he was walking to a sex store, and there was a butt plug, and he was like, "Oh, no, I've got a better one." Oh God, this is bad. It's not bad, but by today's standards, it is it's quite offensive, but please, disclaimer. So, Karl Pilkington, he was like, there's this massive mirror here, and he's like, you don't know what actually, no, I'm not going to say it. Forget it. I'm not going to say it. I'm not getting us in trouble. Sorry, I can't be arsed. I don't want to deal with this shit. Because in the future, someone will play this back. If I ever make it somewhat big in MMA, if I somehow got to the UFC, some person's going to play this back, and I'm going to get massive shit for it, because I feel like people are going to get more like annoyed over this stuff.
Take it out of context and just completely.
Yeah. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say. Just watch all the Karl Pilkington podcasts for yourself. It's fucking amazing. I know it sounds like I'm concluding this segment, but I'm not. There's more to it. But yeah, it's absolutely fucking brilliant. So yeah, that's the Ricky Gervais show. Absolutely class. I absolutely love it. Monkey News. Oh yeah, Carl's Diary. That was classic as well, because you get to hear like the news from things that have happened from his perspective. But like Ricky was saying, if people thousands of years' time ever read it, they'd think nothing happened because it's just the perspective of a bald man just talking a load of rubbish.
A man.
So, yeah. Oh, yeah, no, for some reason, this just really made me chuckle. On the first episode, he was like, I've seen him blossom from an idiot into an imbecile. I don't know, it just made me laugh. But yeah, Ricky really insults Carl, but obviously a lot of it's just for the gimmick, really.
It's weird because it's like a weird triangle that Ricky has a go at Carl has a go at Steve Merchant, and Steve Merchant has a go at Ricky.
Yeah.
It's just really weird.
Very bizarre triangle, but I personally, you know, I really enjoy it. To be honest, it's quite funny. I think the show could do without Steve Merchant not having a go or anything, but it's more Ricky and Carl. But Steve's still good as the medium man. But yeah, do you remember some of the funny insults that Ricky gave to Carl gave to Steve, and he's like, the only reason you don't go on holiday is because you have to spend money.
I remember the one
Burned!
Where he got really funny. He went, Steve, watch Men in Black 2. And there's a scene, and it's the guy when he's in the post office. I don't know if you remember that. And he said, it is...
I've never seen Men in Black.
It's an uncanny resemblance. Basically, it's his alien. And it looks horrible, but he's basically a really tall, lanky alien. I went, Steve, the resemblance is uncanny. I went, shut up, and he just kept railing into him for about it.
Let's have a look. Oh my god. He
got so offended by it. He went. He said, "I'm going to go and buy you on VHS just so you can see the resemblance."
That's amazing, man.
What was the other one?
That's just classic.
Oh, was it? He said when he used to do his was it the 50 weirdest freaks? He went. He surprised Steve Merchant is in there.
Yeah, he's just savage towards Steve. It's quite funny though.
Yeah.
So yeah. That's the podcast bit out of the way. So, Idiot Abroad and Moaning Life. Your thoughts on them? I think Idiot Abroad's amazing because obviously Rick fucks around with him a bit.
First 2 seasons pretty decent. Third season seemed like
with Warwick, yeah.
Seemed like they were doing it for a bit of money, in my opinion.
Yeah, there was milk in it a bit, weren't there?
It did sort of get a bit annoying how it was just the same. They go to Ricky and Steve. Carl goes to Ricky and Steve. And then they just send him somewhere and they laugh. And they get a paycheck for it.
Yeah. I was going to bring that up with like how they sort of fell out. I don't know loads about it, but you were telling me about it once. And you got to remember, hasn't Ricky Gervais, isn't his net worth like 100 million and Carl's is only like 7 million or something?
I think Ricky Gervais
understand.
Is like 150 now.
Bloody hell. Thing is, last time I checked, it was like 80 million, like I think like 9 months ago. So I'll look it up. Ricky Gervais net worth.
But yeah, it's just mental, isn't it? The amount of money that divides them all up.
Yeah, 110 million, and Steve has like 50 million.
Jeez, that's quite a lot of money.
The argument over the 50p. The argument over the 50p was rich, though, man. You got to admit, because like Steve Merchant was probably worth millions by then, and he's obsessing over 50p, and Carl gave him a free keg of beer. Like, come on, you bastard, calm the fuck down. You're a millionaire.
Gave him 2, didn't he? Because he lost one.
Yeah.
At the start, and then.
Oh, jeez, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he got held. He had to hold on to one, then he lost it, and then Carl brought him another one to say sorry, but then I don't think he had that one.
Steve is just, man, fucking hell tight. Ricky, though, you got to admit, he's a ridiculously intelligent dude. Me, personally, I'm not trying to slag off the guy. He's a brilliant creative. He's very intelligent. But don't you get the feeling that he sort of thinks he's more intelligent than he is? Because he really does talk down to Karl Pilkington some of the time. And he just sort of acts like him and Steve are intellectuals and Karl's just a total dummy.
Yeah. Personally, I feel like he's found a formula that works, and he keeps going back to it over and over and over again. If that makes any sense.
What do you mean?
So, like, the way he does the podcast, it's, I'm going to act like this way, and I'm just going to talk down to Carl, and he does that for...
No, but I mean, even in Idiot Abroad, it just feels like he has a go at him over the phone, and there isn't really any need. It's not like the podcast where there sort of is a need for him to be an idiot to make, like a dickhead to make everyone laugh. But in the Idiots Abroad, there's not really no need for it.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean, because the way he talks on Twitter as well, it's like, if you don't believe what I think, then, you know, you're
Oh yeah,
obviously
he's a
stupid.
total tosser about. Not going to bring it up because some of the stuff's controversial, but
Oh yeah,
he's a total dickhead about some issues, man. He's just like, oh,
especially
you don't.
religion, isn't he?
Well, I was about
yeah.
to.
Let's not bring that up, but yeah, about
Yeah, so he just keeps having a go. And once he was like, oh, you can't be agnostic. You're an idiot if you're agnostic. Like, what? So your beliefs are so weak. You believe. And the thing is, whenever they bring up like spiritual stuff or religious stuff, Ricky's like, oh, Carl, you're an idiot. How can you believe any of this shit? Like, he doesn't outright say that, but it's along those lines if you watch the podcast. I'm just thinking, bro, live and let live, man. Let people believe what they want to believe. No one cares if you're an atheist. You shouldn't care if people are religious. It works both ways. If someone's forcing a religion on you, that's annoying. But if someone's forcing atheism or any of their beliefs on you, like, they need to fuck off and get a life. Like, what's the point? You're not going to change people's minds, you know, by doing that sort of shit. To be honest, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And why does Ricky even have a go at these people? Well, there are people who are dicks. There are low lives who are scumbags to every celebrity. Why does Ricky even bother arguing with half of these people about things? Like, because a lot of them, it just seems like a bit of a wind-up, but, you know, some of them, I don't even know what point I'm making here. I've had, like, a can and a half of Stella. No, a can and a half, whatever. There's another point I want to bring up, but do you have anything to add on this, or...?
No, I can't think of anything.
Yeah, like, Ricky isn't a bad dude or anything. He's a really nice, friendly guy, you know. And another small problem I have with it, how he comes up with scenarios like I understand when he takes the mickey out of Carl, but when he puts on another voice, sometimes it just seems a bit unneeded. Like, I understand it works for animated podcasts, but when you're just watching a blank screen, and I don't know, you got to remember, was this originally their intentions to have all these podcasts animated? Because, like, what's the point of all these scenarios, you know, when he goes, save this map, blah, 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 in different voices, and it's meant to be funny. Like, I think scenario humour, like when he comes up with a scenario and says it and acts it out, a lot of the time when Ricky does it, it really falls flat and it's not funny. But you can tell with Karl Pilkington, he doesn't even need to come up with any jokes. He's just hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
But, yeah. Yeah, like I say, Ricky and Steve, not bad dudes, but, you know, they're a bit puzzling sometimes. Another big problem I have... Oh, yeah, do you want to talk about them falling out? Because that was something I was going to bring up.
Yeah, if you want.
Go on, then.
So, I'm not too sure if this is the... Well, obviously no one knows if they've exactly fallen out, because on Twitter or on the interview, sorry, they said, no, we've just stopped working together and we don't hang around with each other as much. I saw this thing that Karl Pilkington said at the end of 2018. He said, well, I don't see him that often, because last time I saw him,
farted on my head.
Farted on my head and all that. But basically, I think it was a lot to do with money. I think it boiled down to in the end. Because Karl Pilkington, he was doing, like 95% of the work on an Idiot Abroad, and yet he was like the last person to get paid, and all of the stuff, you know. And I think, to be honest, I think he got annoyed that he was only known because of Ricky Gervais. I think that's why he wanted to do his other show. Was it Sick of It, just on his own?
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a sec.
But yeah, I have a feeling he just thought he was going to be in Ricky Gervais' shadow forever.
He isn't really, though. I think he's well established now. But yeah, Rick just needs to, you know, realise that Carl's just an alright guy, you know. I don't even know what fucking points I'm making. But yeah, Rick just needs to, like, chill out a bit, you know, because the problem is, Karl Pilkington, like you said, he's going out there doing all the work, and you know, I was going to say that Rick does have to pay for some of the expensive, and as he's a producer, he's pumping money into this. But 7 million compared to like 100 million, you know, it's ridiculous, really.
Yeah.
Can't. But yeah, Sick of It. What did you think of it then?
I haven't actually watched it yet, to be honest, so I can't really give a full thing about it, opinion about it.
Oh. Well, some episodes were good, some episodes weren't as good. I think it was episode 5 and 6 were amazing. Episode 1 was really cool. I can't honestly remember a load of what happened. It did end on a cliffhanger, but you could sort of end the show because it sort of concludes the Karl Pilkington's character arc. I think the character was called Karl on there, so I can't remember, to be honest. But yeah, it sort of concludes his arc of what he was looking for in the show. But there is really... He left it in a 50-50. He said if people want to see more, he'll do more. But if not, then he's going to pack it in again. He's not... Oh yeah, that was another good thing I wanted to bring up. The reason why he quit the TV and... Well, why he didn't want to do anything anymore. So yeah, he was saying how... You know the reason, don't you, Aaron?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So he was saying loads how there's so much shit on telly and all his stuff, as he hasn't had much stuff put out there, all it's been his Idiots Abroad, which, like you say, first 2 seasons great. Even the third, a lot of people love it. Mona Life, a lot of people enjoy that. And the podcasts, it's all really good telly. And in this day and age, in this current climate, TV climate, it's like there's a lot of shit on telly, which is just rubbish. And Karl Pilkington's stuff really, really stood out. And he'd rather not keep making stuff and then it gets stale and just quit there, really, instead of keep making things, because it just won't be... Because he was saying, there's over 400 hours of the podcast, of him talking. You don't really need any more than that, do you? So, yeah. I just respect his reasoning, because a lot of people, they keep going in at it for money. They milk things dry. You see it in the TV industry. They're going to keep making fucking Star Wars films for the next bloody 40 years, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
But Karl Pilkington, he's like, no, I want things to remain good. I want my things to be looked back on fondly. So let's just end it here. I know he came back with sick of it, but that was actually quite good. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I really respect his reasoning for quitting. I'll talk about The Office quickly. I know this is all about the phenomenon of Karl Pilkington. But, yeah... The Office, I'm just not a fan of. It's just not my type of humour. Obviously, it's about, if you worked with weird people who are cringy, like David Brenton, all he's trying to do is get people to like him, but he comes off as a total idiot. I personally just don't think it's funny. People say that dancing scene's like the most iconic thing ever when he's moving his arms around and doing a disco dance, like one of the most iconic things in British comedy. And when you boil down to it, it is just a fat guy dancing. There's just, I suppose you can make some funny memes out of it, like they've made a meme saying me after one drink or whatever, and it's just Ricky Gervais dancing. But it just isn't really that funny. Like, I know there's other things, I'm trying to think of other things in The Office, but honestly, just a lot of it just seemed forgettable, really. Extras, decent, it's cool how they had like a shit ton of celebrities on there, but just not my sort of thing. Derek, not my sort of thing. Afterlife, I haven't bothered watching. Might watch it one day. I don't know.
Derek's
what else has he done? He made...
To be honest.
Yeah, because I know his dad left him, didn't he? And he doesn't want to see his dad again or something. I don't know.
The pilot episode is pretty sad at the end. I don't want to spoil it, but...
I might watch it one day. I don't know. I'm just not fussed, really. But Ricky Gervais' Karl Pilkington stuff is some of the most amazing, funny shit ever. Really, really watchable. Really enjoyable. There was one thing I wanted to bring up, though. In a Monkey News compilation... Karl tells the same story and Ricky reacts to it, and then he tells the same story again on the Ricky Gervais Show podcast, like the ones they did afterwards, and Ricky reacts to it differently. And no, I know you did bring up a good point about this, but you got to remember, whenever they talk about shit, they remember it from ages ago. So Karl Pilkington said, the horse in the house, that stuff's out there, go and watch it. I know this is a specific monkey story, so it might not be well known, but Ricky's like, we've talked about this, we've done this before, so you think they remember that story? I don't know. Maybe it's me overanalyzing it, but that's a little suggestion to suggest that it might be a bit fake, some of this Karl Pilkington shit.
Yeah, it might just be that there was a bit of time between each one, and they might have genuinely forgotten, or they might have just reacted how they felt on the spot, just... Yeah,
I feel like I just thought I'd put that out there. I feel like that is a realistic possibility. I just wanted to put that thing out there. Because they could easily forget shit, And if it was all scripted, why don't they just do more? I know I'm contradicting my own points, but I just thought I'd be, objective with this one. Like, why don't they come up with more episodes then if it's all scripted, you know? Because some people do say it's scripted, but I don't know, that scene in particular that stood out, and it might have been, you know, I had some doubts, but it probably isn't fake, to be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, Karl Pilkington, why do you think he appeals to a lot of people so much then, man?
I don't know who insult him, but I have a feeling because he doesn't seem like a big head. He seems like he could just walk into a room and be normal. Whereas, like, if Ricky Gervais or any other person from Hollywood walked into a room, they'd have a feeling that they're better than you. If that makes... He just has that appeal to him, I think.
Yeah, he does just seem like the regular bloke, really, and he just seems like a decent laugh. Like, you wouldn't feel anxious walking up to him and saying, "All right, mate, how's it going?" and having a proper conversation with him. With a lot of celebrities that, I don't know, I feel like really big famous people or people who have been in films, they just sort of seem more like they don't have any time for you. But I actually met this MMA fighter at an event called Jai Herbert. He was mates from one of my mates, so obviously it wasn't like a meet and greet. My friend was just like, "Oh, Jai, this is my mate James." And I just shook his hand and he said, "Can I have a photo?" "Yeah, sure." And I just said, "Oh, you know, your teammate, man, he was sick, Michael Eunice, those killer elbows." And he was like, "Yeah, man, sick." Then afterwards, I walked past him and went, "All right, James." And those are the sort of people who are cool celebrities, people who are just level-headed. Some of these people, like on Love Island or been in big films, because they're surrounded by so many Hollywood people or like really mad people, I don't know, they're just sort of like you say, think they're better than everyone else. I feel like that's people on the main screen. They're like writers, they're not as bad. Same with some directors. Like there was this writer called Rob Williams who came in and talked at the college I go to, and went to. I'm nearly finished there, but yeah, he went in and talked, and he just seemed like a down to earth guy. But it's because he's not all he does is write stuff. Then finished, hand over the script. And I feel like these sort of people are more down to earth, to be fair, not the people who are constantly under the bright lights and having people sucking up to them saying you're the best, when in reality, they just need to be knocked down a peg, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
So, yeah, well, anything you want to add about Karl Pilkington then?
No, I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
All right, then, a couple more things. I want to tell this really... But have you got that picture you sent me about that story, about that monkey story?
I can't remember.
I swear you sent me a monkey story.
I honestly can't remember. I'll have to have a look. But I don't know.
Just look on the... Oh, fuck's sake, man. The thing is, I sort of spoiled it by saying monkey story. Fuck's sake. Alright, I'm pretty sure it's either in the chat or you sent it me. Let's see if I can find it quickly. But yeah, the monkey... Oh, here we go. Oh, no, that's... Oh, fuck's sake.
You're just building everyone up to fall down. This is 100%
to nothing.
The best layout or best time we could have do on this podcast.
Right at the end when no one's probably watching.
Yeah.
Maybe you put it in the... Maybe you put it in the group chat. Let's have a look now. Come on, please. Why do I send so much shit? Fuck's sake.
But yeah, I don't know how to keep this going without having awkward.
Just keep talking. Just keep talking about shit.
Alright, so what was the monkey thing about then?
I can't...
I found it.
Where was it?
I'll send it you now. Yeah.
Right, let's tell this story then.
There you go. There we go.
The thing is, I know it sort of spoils it, but we wouldn't have been able to find out about it if I hadn't brought this up.
Right.
All right then. So, in celebration of Karl Pilkington, here's some monkey news, the phenomenon of him. All right then. Now, I think this one is probably the most true one that there can probably be out there. I lived in an alley for 3 years. This mysterious stranger would bring me bananas every night. He never said a word, and I could never make out their face, as they'd always have a hoodie on, and it was quite dark in this particular alleyway. Anyway, one night I was freezing cold. The stranger came with the bananas, as usual, but this time noticing I was cold, so they gave me their hoodie and a little hat, and I finally got to see the stranger. Turns out it was a little monkey fella. Probably one of the best, most inspirational stories. I think that could have genuinely happened to it. No, I'm messing. But that was a sick story.
That's just... Imagine that, though. Being homeless and actually seeing a monkey giving you their clothes. Where is the monkey coming from?
That'd be quite amazing. Oh, shit. No, I'd nearly put my beer on top of the computer box. Yeah, man. Absolutely class. Decent podcast. Sorry that I drank some Stellas a bit quick, and I haven't really been able to make some of my points towards the end of the podcast. I think we should try and do some drunk like keep having Stellas one day. Like, hopefully we can do a live one eventually. Me, you, and good old Billy, who was on the podcast last week, and you guys can come around mine, or we can go to yours, and we can just keep drinking beers and film us talking. That'd be quite funny. Hopefully we don't say anything we regret. I nearly said about the Karl Pilkington thing that people wouldn't be accepting of today. That he said it wasn't that offensive, but it was a bit offensive. But yeah, I nearly said that, but I was in control. I thought, no, I'm not going to do it. I sort of felt like, oh yeah, let's do it. Fuck it. But no point. That's how you got to be. Don't take no risks like that, you know. But yeah, thanks for watching, everyone.
All right, thanks.
See you later. Goodbye. How dare you?
Just killed the headphone users.